Updates on South Korea plane crash first. At least 85 people were killed when an airliner veered off the runway and erupted into a fireball as it slammed into a wall at South Korea's Muan International Airport on Sunday morning. The crash occurred as Jeju Air flight 7C2216 carrying 175 passengers and 6 crew on a flight from the Thai capital Bangkok was landing shortly after 9 a.m. local time at the airport in the south of the Asian nation. With the impact of the crash, the aircraft broke in half and caught fire. The regional fire authorities said that the plane's landing gear appears to have failed to deploy, causing the crash. The cause of the accident is presumed to be a bird strike combined with adverse weather conditions. However, the exact cause will be announced following a joint investigation. Meanwhile, all domestic and international flights at the Muan airport had been cancelled. So at least 85 people were killed in an plane crash in South Korea. To talk more on this, to give us the latest, Anil Thomas, my colleague, is joining us on the phone line. Anil, at least 85 have been killed in the plane crash and the death toll has been increasing. Latest you can tell us, 2 people were found alive also.
Well, good morning, Abhishek. Well, a sad day to begin, sad news to begin the day with, especially coming in from South Korea, where, almost 181 people on board. We are still getting confirmed news about 88 people dead, but in all likelihood, the death toll is very likely to rise. According to the local officials there, in all likelihood, they have managed to get 2 people out of 2 survivors, 1 passenger, 1 crew member that's been pulled out from the tail section of the plane and are receiving treatment in the nearby hospital. But all in all, the news coming in or trickling in there doesn't look good. Not much survivors expected. Looking at how the plane has split into 2, you would not expect much survivors to come out of it, because whatever could be done has to be done at the tail end of the plane. Because the plane is split into 2, not much can be done. And I think we could see the death casualty almost cross 100. This would be one of the worst casualties or airline casualties that South Korea could see. Some of the previous accidents that South Korea have seen have never seen these kind of deaths. Reminded of the 2002 Air China plane crash that took place, which killed almost 129 passengers out of the 166, and the other major airline crash that Korea has seen on Korean soil that we have seen is the Asiana airline crash that took place in 1993, which killed 68 people. But the numbers here could almost, go past the 129 we saw in 2002, and this is one of the worst airline crashes that South Korea has ever seen.
But Anil, the exact cause is not known, but the crash is thought to have been caused by contact with bird, leading to malfunctioning landing gear. Are they still examining the exact cause?
Well, there are 2 conflicting reports that are coming in. First, what the South Korean news agency is reporting, they are citing authorities claiming that there is a malfunction on the landing gear, which is likely to be the cause for the crash. 1. Airport authorities, on the other hand, are saying that the plane it had a crash landing for the reason that there was a malfunctioning on the landing gear, and its first landing attempt had already failed. So, the pilot is left with not much of an option when your first landing has failed. You're almost looking at landing on the belly of the plane, which is like the plane will be up in flames, the engine will be hitting the ground, and there is not much that the pilot can do other than steer it or bring it to an end. I think with the speed that the plane had, it was impossible to reduce the speed for the pilot, and that's the reason it hit the end of the runway and then crashed into the wall, that's the outer edge of the airport, and where it erupted into a fireball. I think once the plane is up in a fireball, however hard you try, local fire authorities can try their best, but it's next to impossible to, get near the plane when the plane is in a fireball. However, local authorities are claiming that, there is a bird strike along with adverse weather conditions which are likely to be the cause of this particular, plane crash. But we'll have to wait for the joint investigation report that's going to come out soon, The exact cause will be announced, maybe in a few days later when the joint investigations, will take place, and we'll get to see what exactly happened and, what could be the real cause for this particular plane accident.
The pictures, the visuals of the plane look bad, Anil. All domestic and international flights at the airport, Muan airport, have been cancelled, and rescue operation is underway.
Well, exactly. They are trying their best to what can be done, because this is South Korea's worst domestic civil aviation disaster. It also, this is also the first time there's low-cost airlines that have started in South Korea. Not much of time has passed since low-cost airline has, have been very successful in South Korea. So this is the first major casualty incident which is involving a low-cost, carrier in the country's history. And that's something that could be a cause of concern, because this, we are into the New Year season where there's a lot of flying taking place. And suddenly there could be a lot of fear that could set in with regards to low-cost airlines. And this could have a cascading effect on how, South Korean low-cost airlines, they could feel the heat pretty quickly on how things could happen. If the situation is not brought under control pretty quickly, because the death toll with every passing minute is rising. And I think, how does South Korea manage to get this particular story under control? Because there has to be some check that has to be brought. The joint investigation has to be quick, because as of now, the low-cost airline Jeju Air has just, puts a simple message on its website which claims that they deeply bow in apology to all those affected by the airport accident. Our first priority is to do everything possible to manage the incident, and we sincerely apologize for causing concern. I think they have done what they could do best, but the way the things have spiraled out, if this is the worst civil aviation accident that we are seeing in South Korea, this could have a huge cascading effect, especially on low-cost airlines.
All right, Anil, we'll leave it at that. Anil Thomas on the phone line reporting on plane crash in South Korea.